On behalf of the China Policy Observatory, we welcome to our 15th International Electronic Symposium. This event kicks off the Observatory 20th anniversary festivities. Throughout this time, the symposium has positioned itself as a benchmark in the dissemination of Chinese studies in Ibero-American region. At the same time, this event gives space to establish specialists and new voices. Today, a second edition is achieved under a new era through a webinar scheme, in which, in an unprecedented way, more than 30 presentations were brought together in 9 sessions, rescuing the most important issues in the moment within Chinese studies. This symposium is part of the need to study China and is linked with the rest of the world. I hope that it will be a fruitful symposium, and it will allow us to continue the dialogue from the Ibero-American Academy to China. Right now, it's my pleasure to introduce our special guest. First, I just want to introduce His Excellency, Mr. Jing, Ambassador of the People's Republic of China in Spain. And also, I just want to introduce Daniel González Palau, Director of the Galician Institute of International Analysis and Documentation. Right now, I will leave the floor for a welcome message from Daniel González Palau, Director of the Galician Institute of International Analysis and Documentation. Daniel, the floor is yours.
Thanks a lot, Raquel. It's a joy for me to be with all of you, and I really appreciate your presence here. I'm speaking in the name of the Galician Institute of International Analysis and Documentation, a think tank founded by Julio Rios in 1991, at the end of the Cold War. It's my pleasure to take part in the inauguration of this 15th Electronic Symposium of Chinese Politics, which we are officially launching today. Before my brief words, I would like to apologize to the representative of Casa Asia, who cannot be here due to a coincidence of dates in the calendar. I will be very brief, highlighting just 3 key ideas. First, the Observatory of Chinese Politics as an IGADI project, which celebrates its 20th anniversary, has fostered a tradition of dialogue between the community of sinologists in Spain and Latin America. Over the years, over these 2 decades, it has contributed to expanding open knowledge about China and its role in the 21st century, from a perspective of cooperation and mutual understanding. Second, the symposium, now in its 15th edition, it's a great example of this effort, as we will witness over the coming days. Building knowledge and narratives that promote cooperation rather than conflict is an urgent need across the world. That is why we are so proud of the work being done along these 20 years. Third, and finally, I would like to express my deeply gratitude to all the speakers and participants for their contribution. And in particular, I would like to extend my special thanks to Raquel León de la Rosa for her leadership of the Observatory and for the coordination of the symposium. As well, I would like to express my deeply gratitude to Mr. Jing, Ambassador of the People's Republic of China to the Kingdom of Spain, for delivering the inaugural lecture that for sure would be very, very interesting. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Daniel, for this opening message. So right now, it's my pleasure to introduce our keynote lecture. For this keynote lecture, this lecture will be presented by His Excellency, Mr. Jing, Ambassador of the People's Republic of China at the Kingdom of Spain. Right now, to introduce him, I just want to read and share with you some of your some data of his resume. Mr. Zhao Jing, born in April 1969, and he is native of Shuyi in Shenyang province, and he has a master's degree in law. He has developed in a lot of positions inside the Ministry of Foreign Relations of the People's Republic of China. From 1991 to 1992, he was official of the Ministry of Foreign Relations of the People's Republic of China. From 1992 to 1994, he was officer and attaché of the Directorate General for Asia, also for this ministry. From 1994 to 1999, he was attaché and third secretary of the Embassy of China in the Islamic Republic of Pakistan. From 1999 to 2005, he was a third secretary deputy chief of division of the chief of division of the Directorate General for Asia in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. From 2005 to 2007, Consular of the Permanent Mission of China to the United Nations. From 2007 to 2010, Consular of the Embassy of China in the Republic Islamic of Pakistan. From 2010 to 2011, Consular for Director General for Latin America and the Caribbean in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. From 2011 to 2013, General Officer in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. From 2013 to 2015, Consular of the Embassy of China in the Republic of India. From 2015 to 2017, Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of China in the Islamic Republic of Afghanistan. From 2017 to 2020, Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of China in the Islamic Republic of Pakistan. From 2020 to 2021, Ambassador of the Directorate General for Asia in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. From 2021 to 2023, Director General of the Office of Foreign Affairs of the People's Government in the Uyghur Autonomous Region of Xinjiang. And from 2023 to currently, Ambassador Extraordinary of the Plenipotentiary of China at the Kingdom of Spain. He's married and he has one son. Mr. Zhao, we are really happy to have you here as a keynote lecture. So, well, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Raquel León, for your very detailed introduction of my career. And of course, my thanks go to the Galicia International Institute of International Analysis and Documentation, and also for your kindly hosting this very significant and meaningful symposium on China's politics. I think just now as my career demonstrates that I didn't have a lot of association with Europe. I didn't have a lot of association with Spain. So since my career or my posting in Spain about 1.5 years ago, that I have benefited a lot from my interaction with the local institutions, with the local societies. And here, I think that the efforts by the Galicia Institute of International Analysis and Documentation, as well as the China policies of the Observatory network, this kind of efforts from you is really helpful in bridging the understanding between China and Spain and between China and Latin America. So first of all, let me express my sincere thanks for your hosting this function and giving me this chance. My topic will be a little briefing about the Sino-Spanish strategic relationship for the past 20 years. I would like to elaborate a little about my understanding of this relationship and my focus on our current job. the comprehensive strategic partnership was established between China and Spain in 2005. I think for the past 20 years, the international relations or the international scenarios have been undergoing a very fundamental and big changes. However, this kind of strategic trust and strategic cooperation between China and Spain has withstood the test of time and has remained solid and consolidated. So this, I think it is my first point, that the strategic partnership between China and Spain remains solid. This kind of solid relationship has demonstrated its strength. First is that both China and Spain enjoy good political trust or strategic trust. For example, both China and Spain, we don't pose each other as a threat. We never conceive each other as a kind of rival or enemy. Basically, we put our relationship on the basis of partnership, a partner to deal with global challenges, a partner to enhance our bilateral cooperation, a partner to build the friendship between our two nations and peoples. So I think that this kind of strategic trust between China and Spain plays a very fundamental role for our relationship. So I think in the past 20 years that we have maintained a very frequent high-level visit between us. And for example, for the past 2 years, the president of government, Mr. Pedro Sanchez, was in China twice. And also that
Creo que tuvimos un problema técnico con el embajador. Permítanme revisar. Daniel, no sé si a ti te aparece.
Sí, se ha caído.
Permítanme, déjenme comunicarme con el señor Yao.
Creo que quizás está entrando. Ahora están entrando de nuevo.
Sí, ya me está notificando. Gracias. Mr. Zhao Jing, can you hear us?
yes, I can.
Okay. I'm so sorry about this kind of situations, but well, we are really pleased that you could continue with your presentation. Thank you.
Sorry that in fact the interruption comes from our station. Yeah, sorry that for the disruption, but I will continue my presentation about this bilateral strategic relationship between China and Spain. Just now, I elaborated a little about our political trust, followed by our frequent mutual interaction between the two governments, between the two parliamentaries, and also between two local governments. Both of China and Spain, we support each other, for example, in the efforts of maintaining our sovereignty and territorial integrity. We never see any kind of problems, especially between like the conflict problems between China and Spain. So for the past 20 years, when we started this strategic partnership, we put a lot of attention and efforts in the economic and the development cooperation. Because both China and Spain, we believe in collaboration for a better development for the global community. China is a developing economy. Spain is an advanced, developed economy. That we have a lot of areas to collaborate with each other. For example, that in the economic sector, that we have a lot of areas of mutual collaboration. To facilitate and also to promote this kind of economic and other cooperations, both the governments have established a lot of institutions. Between our two Ministry of Commerce, we have this joint committee of economic and economic cooperation. Between the two ministries of science and technology, we also have this joint committee of that. And in the meanwhile, we have established the business collaboration. We also established an advisory committee for the business and economic cooperation. So this kind of institutional establishment could give us a more regularized cooperation between the
Volvimos a tener problemas. Les agradezco mucho su empatía y su entendimiento por este tipo de problemas técnicos. Ya estamos otra vez en contacto vía WhatsApp con la embajada para ver si les podemos rescatar. Daniel, una pregunta. ¿Te aparecen a ti ellos en línea? Porque al parecer ellos están en la sesión de Zoom.
Ahora mismo no aparecen como conectados ni como solicitando entrada. Ahora.
Okay. Mr. Zhao Jing, can you hear us?
Yes, I can, but sorry that.
Don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. So if you can retake the presentation, we will appreciate it.
Okay, I will continue with my presentation on the economic sector. So I will put it in a little simple way. The Chinese government and the Chinese business community pays attention right now on the areas of new energy, especially in the energy storage and the energy renewable energy generation in Spain. The second area of our cooperation is in the automobile sector, especially in the electrical vehicle sector. There will be some kind of battery factories, automobile factories, energy storage and factories to be established in different localities in Spain. And there are more and more Chinese digital companies coming to Spain to explore their business opportunities. And as far as the Chinese government's policy is concerned, we are fully supporting their investment and collaboration with Spanish counterparts. The third area I would like to a little elaborate is on the cultural exchanges, because our relationship, our trust is built on the mutual confidence and the mutual trust between the two peoples. Spain is a very, very ancient and a very, very important civilization. You have a very rich heritage. You have very rich culture. And the nation of Spain, I think, is always leading the global efforts of a diversification of the civilizational development. So in this area, the Chinese government and the Chinese communities also pays a lot of attention to the collaboration with Spain. For example, last year, we have more than 600,000 tourists coming to Spain. And this is a big increase of these tourists coming to Spain. And we have a lot of, we call the sister cities. That means that friendly relations among the different governments, local governments. At least right now, we have more than 30 sister cities or sister provinces between China and Spain. And this kind of local relationship provides another opportunity for the collaborations. Chinese students in Spain have also increased. Right now, the total number of the Chinese students in Spanish universities amount to 15,000, and this number is still becoming larger and larger. Our education cooperation with your universities or with different educational institutions have been steadily expanding. And starting from this year, we started a new program called Young Scholarship Program. Basically, we would like to invite more and more young people from Spain, especially the university students, to have both short-term and long-term studies in China. The final areas of our collaboration of this kind of comprehensive strategic partnership focus on the international cooperation. We think that right now there are a lot of turbulences, a lot of uncertainties in the global situation, that we have a lot of common challenges from the geopolitical problems like the conflict between Russia and Ukraine, the conflicts in Middle East, and the other uncertainties in the other parts of the world. And we very much value Spanish efforts in promoting the peace and stability in the world. Spain is a very important member of the global community, a member of the UN, a member of the WTO, a member of the G20. And the UN, WTO, G20, all these kind of global institutions play a very important role in safeguarding peace, stability, and in promoting the global prosperity and development. For China, Spain is a very important partner for the global peace. So we have a very frequent and constant consultations or coordinations on the issues like Ukraine issue.
Una disculpa, seguimos teniendo algunos problemas técnicos. De hecho, creo que tenemos conectado a personal de la embajada, al señor Xie. No sé si nos escucha para poder checar la conexión del embajador.
还有提问，都是您拿手机。你为什么没买？你会直接这样。他那个可能信号。
Ambassador, I think that that's better. We can.
That's better.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, okay. And right now I'm using the mobile.
So if you want, you can continue with the presentation. We was
Yeah, a few more words and I'm concluding it.
Okay.
Okay. Now talk about our collaboration on the global and international issues, because both China and Spain, we value the global peace and the prosperity. So we have a lot of consultation. We have a lot of collaboration in UN, in G20, and in WTO. But more importantly, Spain could be a bridge between China's relations with Latin America, with Africa, with other parts of the world, because you have a vast connection with Latin Americans, and China can benefit from your experience of doing business, of developing relations with Latin American countries, with African countries, with European members, or all the other parts of the global community. So by this strategic partnership, I think that it is mutually beneficial for both China and Spain. And China definitely would like to be a partner of Spain, of EU, and of the global community. So this is my presentation, and sorry for the disruptions of the network.
Thank you so much, Ambassador. So, well, for us, it was really interesting, having like all this kind of variety of topics between the cooperation and this strategic comprehensive relation and these 20 years between China and Spain.
Yes,
we really appreciate your time. We really appreciate all your effort with these kind of situations that we had to experiment. Well, it's part of this digital dynamic. So, well, thank you so much on behalf of the Observatory of the Chinese Politics. It is the second time that you are collaborating with us. For us, it's really important, not only for your representation in Spain. I'm talking about all the region, all the Ibero-American region. Right now, we have people of more than 15 countries. And for that reason, knowing about this kind of cooperation between Spain and China is really important, knowing not only this economic part, also this cooperation in education, the cultural, this dialogue that China is trying to promote between civilizations. For us, is really important. And also, of course, how does China has right now an important role for this peaceful world and this community of shared destiny. So, well, Mr. Zhao, for us, it was a pleasure, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Daniel, I don't know if you want to add some words.
Well,
Add some words.
I hope the next time we will have, we were lucky, and well, in other data we could take a better dialogue with the Mr. Ambassador, and well, we hope to continue cooperating for a different world that prefer building bridges and not war, that today in the news is suddenly appear different global risks, and we must try for achieve a different world with a peaceful atmosphere. Thanks a lot.
Yes.
Thank you so much for all of you.
Oh, thank you.
So, well, right now we will close this first session with this keynote lecture. So, well, I just want to invite you, all of you, to continue with the rest of the symposium. Remember that we will, in a few minutes, we will start the second session. Right now, in the chat, in the part of the chat inside the platform, we have this form for the attendance list. Yes, we will continue at 16:15 for the next meeting in the case of Spain, and in the case of Latin America, him from Mexico, it will be 9:15. So, well, we will start with this session about Chinese foreign policy, and I hope that maybe you could be over there. Thank you so much again. And thank you so much to our special guest, His Excellency, Mr. Zhao Jing. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So, well, thank you. Bye-bye.